I have lightly salted my chicken breast, and you can see that the oil is just very lightly beginning to smoke. So I'm going to put my chicken breast into the hot oil, and you can see that it pops. You can hear that it is making the hissing sound, and you know that my pan is very hot. At this point, I am popping a little grease in. So I'm going to put a splatter screen over my pan. And the splatter screen allows the water to still evaporate out. If I put a lid tightly down on the pan, then there would be water in the pan, and I will show you that here in a moment. One of the main things to know about cooking in the pan and for the browning is not to play with it. So right now, if I took my tongs and I tried to pick up my chicken breast, it's stuck to the pan. When the Maillard reaction occurs on the bottom and the chicken is ready to flip, it will self-release. I also want to note that as I cook in the pan, I'm using a set of tongs to flip my meat. So by using tongs to flip my meat, then I'm able to get a hold of it. I am not using a spatula. My spatula would flip my meat, but I have a tendency to flip grease more often if I do that. And most importantly, I'm not using my spatula to squeeze the moisture out. When I take my spatula and I press down, it does sizzle more. But all I'm doing is pushing the juice out of my chicken breast. It is not cooking faster. It is not cooking better. It is just pushing the juice out. Also, I keep a plate, a clean plate on my countertop, and this is for resting my utensils on when I do my cooking. This prevents me from getting my countertop dirty or for spreading germs and bacteria to my utensils. Also, because I'm getting ready to handle cooked chicken, I have washed my spatula after I flipped it when I had a raw side on my chicken. So I am not handling raw and cooked meat at the same time. And since my spatula has touched meat that wasn't cooked all the way, I'm going to clean it before I move forward too. For this final application, I'm going to show you what it looks like when you take a pan and you turn it on. I just turned my pan on, and I put my oil into a cold pan, and now I'm going to put my chicken into a cold pan as well. I did turn my heat on almost high, and then I'm also going to put a lid on top of my pan. In this application, we started with a cold pan and cold oil, but we turned the heat up very high. So the oil began to heat, and it is dry cooking the chicken, but if you look in the pan, there is also an amount of water. For this size of meat versus this size of pan, I have a lot of room for evaporation. But you can definitely see that there is water cooking out of the chicken and remaining in the pan, that not all of it is evaporating out. If we had a pan that was full of chicken, if I had a couple of chicken breasts that I had diced and I put in this pan, then you would see even more water cooking out and less evaporation happening.